Hey, welcome back to the Passive Buddies podcast. In today's episode, we are talking about personal branding. Now, this is a concept me and Brandon, me and Brandon are very, very passionate about because of the doors it opens and the cash flow it brings. So if you are trying to hide your face, if you are trying to build a faceless business, then okay, fine. This episode probably isn't for you, but I want you to listen anyway so you can learn why you should be putting your face out there and how to stand out in affiliate marketing. Brandon, Mr. Monopoly, the guy with a cane, the guy with a hat, and the guy with a tash that doesn't seem to be on any of these videos. Where is it all?
It is my alter ego who is just makes the money on the daily life. It's my inner spirit animal, as you would say. So, or not you would say, but I would say. But yeah, definitely, it is super important to have a brand and a way to be identified in the market. So many people don't want to. I was just thinking about this and like the other day, and I think that we definitely need to go deeper on this because, and we'll probably talk about this off air, but most people that do their challenge or try to make money online, they try and fit in a mold. They try and be like everyone else, and they think that them posting something that someone else has posted that is whatever is doing well is going to also do well for them. And that's not the case. Just because something works for them does not mean it's going to work for you. I think that we're all taught that if you fit in this mold, you're all going to get similar results. And that's what they're taught in school or conditioned in school. And if you actually are the one that steps outside that mold, you're actually going to get more views. You're going to get more attention. And we're taught attention is bad because it's kind of like you want to be in this herd of people and not the outside the herd or an outlier. And being the outlier is the thing that creates attention. And I've been able to do that quite well. And so if you're able to create attention, you're able to monetize attention. And being able to monetize attention is very a powerful thing. And that is what you should be doing with your brand. If your brand is not monetizing or grabbing attention, then it's boring. And if you're boring, then no one's going to follow you. And if no one's going to follow you, then you have no power. And so it's super important that you really try and make yourself known, because if you're making yourself known, then you're going to get more views and you're going to be able to stand out a lot more. And so I've been able to do that with my Monopoly outfit, because most people have their little face, they have or a picture of their dog or whatever, and you're not really showing kind of what you represent. And so if you can show that through like an avatar like I have, which is still my face and everything, but it's just dressed up, then you're going to be able to gravitate towards the tribe that you're trying to attract.
And you know, it's quite interesting. Obviously, we talk about that photo, obviously the Mr. Monopoly photo, because I was creating an image for our new funnel, our 5-day challenge funnel, yesterday, and I tried to go and look to see what other photos you had, like to see like if we could use something different or like spice it up a little bit, and every other photo just wasn't worth it. I was like, do you know what? I was like, it just stands. It stands out so well. It does really, like, obviously people just resonate and see it. And like, I've seen that photo for years, and like, and it just works. Like, it's associated with you. So when I was looking at changing the picture and seeing like what else you had, I was like, the funnel probably wouldn't do as well. I was like, because it's like, who's this random guy in a tank top? I was like, they're just not gonna know you, are they? Whereas like where there's that Mr. Monopoly, like that power of the personal brand massively, massively helps. And Brandon's right, standing out, like you have to stand out. If you've got an opinion and people aren't going to like that opinion, then who cares? Okay, you will find a small perception of people that will not like your opinion, but you
Right.
will have thousands of people who may follow you silently who will love it. And it'll give them that confidence to comment. It'll give them that confidence that like that connection. Like it's crazy. Like you see it in sport all the time, don't you? Like for instance, if you're a Liverpool fan, like instantly that rapport, like if you come across another Liverpool fan, you've got something to talk about and stuff like that. Like I'm a dad. I'm a real passionate dad, and like I can connect with dads a lot more on like sales calls and stuff like that because it's like you just start asking about the kids and oh yeah, they were a pain in the ass last night. I joke all the time, don't I, about the bags under my eyes, and all those different types of things, and it's just like those things that you can put out there, those opinions. Like I've started taking a swipe recently at the people who want to identify as cats, lampposts, and random things. Like, and I know I'm gonna get hate for that, and I don't care. Like, past the point of caring. Like, that is something that I think is just absolutely stupid, and it's
Yeah.
just is what it is. And I don't mind like throwing that out. Like, Kirsty winces a little bit, like, should you have said that? I was like, yeah, because I don't mind standing out. It's going to attract my
Right.
people, and that is what
Yeah.
personal branding is about. It's about attracting your people. Like branding
Yeah.
attracts like people who are interested in recurring income. People who it's quite funny, like watching some of your conversations, like people who like just don't take no bullshit or don't buy into hype or like it's just like this is what it is. What the can do it. And people are like
Right.
people who like the no shit scenarios like yeah no Brandon's right because he just tells you how it is. You've just got to do it. And like people who are interested in like not being mollycoddled will gravitate towards someone like yourself who just goes and makes money, like doesn't care what people think and just goes and does it. And that will naturally attract a tribe of people to Brandon. And it attracted me. Like obviously I've followed you for years. Obviously now I'm lucky
Yeah.
enough to be on the podcast or like on the podcast together. And obviously we've got the Cashflow community together. Like
Yeah.
but obviously I followed Brandon for years, like through his personal branding. And I remember telling, and I don't know whether I've told you before, but I remember telling an old business partner of mine that you'd approach me to come on the show. And he was like, and I remember Ian saying, he was like, I bet you're buzzing. I bet you're made up. He was like, because obviously you've got so much, like, you love everything that Brandon does and like through his personal branding and his marketing. And he was like, I bet you made up. And obviously I was. And it was just like really interesting because that personal brand and who you were authentically attracted me and thousands of others to like you because of that personal branding, because you just didn't care, you just done you. And that is what personal branding is all about. If you're a person who loves to go out and eat meals, take photos of your food, share that type of story. If
Right.
you're a dad like me who likes to just like obviously, we're cutting the podcast short today because I'm going to go pick up the kids. I'm probably going to get jumped over and jumped on and probably battered for the next 4 hours. And I
Good
can't wait for that
times.
to happen. It's just being authentically you. And that's the power of that personal brand. When Brandon was talking about the mold, like don't fit into the mold because you won't stand out. Like if you're in a field, if you go probably to Wales, because that's where they all are. If you go to Wales and find a field of sheep, because there's millions of the buggers, and if you see that one black sheep, that will be the one that catches your attention. That will be the
Right.
one that you focus on. Now, and that is exactly what personal branding is being about. Putting yourself out there, being like that type of person, throwing rocks if you want to throw rocks at people. Figuratively, don't go around throwing rocks at people. It
Right.
hurts. But like that type of scenario is 100% what personal branding is all about, and it massively impacts your sales in a very, very positive way by being that person.
Yeah, and it's definitely super important. I know we're cutting it short, and we'll have definitely a podcast around kind of identity with communities, which I was going to say we'll talk about later off podcast. Because if you think about, and I'll leave it this, and this is why you should subscribe to the podcast, because this is one of those time-sensitive material things, is you have to think that my personal brand is Mr. Monopoly, but I show up like this every single day, and the branding is the Monopoly man in a sense. So that just allows other people to fit that mold too, and it's just not me. It's a community thing. So we'll go deeper on that in a different podcast. So definitely subscribe to the channel, and we need to have Brian get out of here to take care of his kids. So with that said,
Oh yeah, it's usually my job, isn't it? Guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Hope you've learned a lot about personal branding. If you didn't want to put your face on your brand at the start, hopefully this has convinced you the power of doing so and why you should authentically and unapologetically go and do that, because it will impact your sales. You will have a better community. You'll have more people buying from you by being that personal brand. And we will see you on the next episode.
Peace.